Hey guys, I'm Michael Durr with Pro Speed Baseball, and today I'm going to show you how you can use your upper body and stretch out the abdominal muscles to create that slingshot effect with your arm to maximize arm speed, which in turn maximizes velocity. Let's go ahead and get started. So if we're going to use the upper body properly, what we have to understand is what we need to do with our torso, our upper body. And very simply put, we're going to want to stretch out the abdominals and flex the back and get ourselves into a nice arch position to use this in the throw to catapult the arm and slingshot the arm towards the plate. Now, the reason this works so well is that if we get in here and we fire the hips, and see now my hips are gone, and now I'm in a very neutral torso. My torso is unflexed, we're not bowed out. Now I don't have anything to slingshot my arm. Now I'm having to use my arm to gain the speed, and I don't have anything to catapult my arm forward. Now, I do the same thing with my hips open, and I now have a stretched torso. I can now use those hips to fire up through my core and now pull. And now if I show you from the side, I'm now stretched, and we get this nice arch position. If you look at a lot of pro pitchers, they'll be in this nice arch position as they're coming through, and now they can get into the motion where they pull and let this arm lag behind and slingshot through for maximum speed. Now this is also going to take a ton of stress off the arm, because conversely, if we get into this position and we're not arched back and we have a nice neutral core, well, not a nice neutral core, if we're neutral, we're not going to have anything loaded up. We have this neutral core, we're now going to have to gain that speed by using the smaller muscles in our shoulders, arm, and sometimes our elbow if we get that into a bad position. And that's going to put a lot of strain on your elbow. And you still, if you're using your lower body really well and you have really good arm action, you're probably going to be able to still get some good speeds, but you're going to be getting it from the wrong places, and you're going to put a lot of stress where you don't want it. So the next thing we're going to do is when we get into this landing position, first let's talk about how to get into it. Very simple. As we're coming forward, we want to begin arching that back. So as our stride foot comes forward, we want to begin the arch, and we're going to time it so we're fully flexed when that foot lands. So we're going to be going forward, and a good way to think about this is if the front foot is going back with the upper back. So it's going to look this kind of motion, kind of like a dance motion, where the foot and the back go back together. So we're striding, foot and back go back together, and we're going to be fully arched when that front foot lands, getting ready to fire. Now, from there, we got to really pay attention to what we do with our body to utilize the stretched muscles that we just stretched out in the abs. And how we do this is we want to keep from spinning out. So if we're landed and we're stretched, and now we spin to try to throw, we've now wasted all of this nice power that we've stored up. And we've already talked about in some other videos, when we spin out, we're going to lose a lot of velocity because we're now getting the ball away from our body, and we're going to end up leaving it outside or throwing it down into the dirt on the inside. So what we're going to want to do is, once we have this nice and stretched out, we're going to key off of the center of our chest, and we're going to turn and pull downward. So it's going to be a slight turn and pull down with our upper body. From the side, it's going to look like this. A good thing to key off on here is when we land and we pause, we're going to make sure that chest is pointing up and directly in front of us when we land. So if I draw a line straight out of my chest, it's going to be pointing right at you at the camera, and it's going to be a little bit above your head, okay? So from side view, we turn, and we're going to pull down with our upper body, not our arm. Pull down, we're going to pull the chest down. So it's going to be turn, pull down. And what this is going to do, if we do this correctly, and we get this nice timing in our back, and then we pull down correctly, we're going to get into a very nice flat back finish, which we all want to get into. So if you're your coach telling you to bend your back, do this, do that, like, you don't ever want to think bend your back. You want to think get into this nice arch position and use that arch position to slightly turn, pull down, and that's going to get you into that flat back position. Okay guys, so I'm going to take you through a series of drills you're going to do to incorporate these things in your game. First thing we're going to do is get rid of this ball, and we're going to start getting our timing down for this stretch. So the first drill, we're going to time this stretch with our foot. We're going to get into a nice loading position, and we're going to stretch as we land. So we're going to be fully stretched when this lands, and we're going to make sure that our chest is pointing directly in front of us. So this done wrong, If we come down and we stretch and we can see our chest in a mirror or a camera if you're filming yourself, then we've done this wrong. So let's go ahead and time this up. Make sure this chest is in front of you. Go ahead and do that about 300 times, guys. Get a really good feeling for that timing and that stretch. And now we're gonna work into the next progression where we start out from this position with our chest pointing in front of us, stretch, and we're gonna simply take our chest and pull it down towards our lead foot. And it's gonna look here, we're gonna get it down going towards our foot, and we're gonna get in that nice flat back finish. Okay, now you're gonna do about another 300 repetitions of that from the stretched position. And now we're gonna bring the ball back into it, and we're gonna start making some throws and making some pitches on a flat ground. Don't get onto a mound yet, that'll be the final step. So go ahead and make sure that we are timing this stretch and pulling that chest down towards our foot, and that's gonna get us into that nice flat back finish. It's gonna let us use that body to whip the arm around and gain maximum speed. Hey guys, I really hope you liked this video, and if you did, stay tuned. I got a great bonus coming up. I got a preview to the next installment of the pitching series. And if you want to see that whole video, go ahead and click on the link that pops up in the screen during the preview. It's going to take you to a page where you can give your email and see the entire pitching series free of charge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. It's the plate. And what you're going to do is you're going to monitor this knee on what I call the spin out line. And that's going to be about an inch outside of your back foot. It's going to be a vertical line about an inch right outside your back, and we don't want that knee to go past that line. So if I'm here, I'm in front of the line. As soon as it goes past that spin out line is where we really start getting the tendency to spin out and lose that velocity. Now, what we're going to